You're watching News at Prime. Let's bring you this now. The family of an Eldorado Park man who was shot and killed outside the Lenasia Magistrate's court yesterday say he paid for justice with his life. 33-year-old Ashwin Mouwers was a witness in a number of cases and was expected to testify yesterday when armed men accosted him outside court in front of the murder victim's mother. Police have launched a manhunt for the suspects, and Mnisi, following this a gruesome story for us, he joins us in studio tonight. Linda, good afternoon to you, and let's start with who this gentleman was and why would he have been killed so callously?
All right, Oli, it's a bit of a complex, case, but Ashwin Mouwers is an Eldorado Park man who was a witness in a murder case of a man called Clejan Stephens. Now, Clejan was allegedly ran over with a car by his sister's boyfriend, well, allegedly by his sister's boyfriend. And Ashwin had allegedly witnessed this. After the murder, there was problems with, opening the case allegedly. And after those years, about 3.5 years, this matter was meant to go to court. The beginning of trial, which was yesterday. Ashwin yesterday leaves home, goes to court, is standing outside court with Clejan's mother when 4 men accosted him, 4 armed men allegedly accosted him and shot him right in front of that murder victim's mother.
Let's talk about the 4 men that accosted the victim. Were they wearing balaclavas? Could someone be able to identify them? Or, as things go with these kinds of murders, are people too afraid to come forward?
It's quite interesting, Oli, because what the mother of the murder victim says, what Clejan's mother says, is that these were young men who were wearing shorts, who casually walked away after the shooting happened. So she says she stood there and just froze while all of it, happened. And she was able to at least see some of the items that they were wearing as they casually walked away from the actual crime scene. But it's also quite interesting that she says at that moment she felt like she was being denied justice because this is the man who had allegedly witnessed his son being run over by a car, and that car, that incident later led him to die. So this was the person that was meant to testify as an eyewitness, but he was then killed outside court.
It is pure assumption at this point, Linda, for law enforcement to, one, tell us what the motive could have been for this, unless, of course, you are going to tell us different, that indeed they have spoken and there is a motive. But does it also give us a window, speculatively, again, we need to stress this, that could the people involved in this have been somehow linked to this individual who allegedly ran over this young man?
Well, it's like you say, it's speculation at this moment, and the police have said that they have launched a manhunt. But you speak to also the family members who say they have an idea who could have done this, and they say, well, they welcome that the police have confiscated this person's phone, but they're just waiting for the arrest. So at this particular point, the police have not confirmed anything if this person or these men are allegedly linked to this particular murder case or not. It's just speculation from the family based on past events that they say they believe that they know who could have been behind this. But what is also interesting is that he had indicated, this is now Ashwin who died yesterday, he had indicated that he was scared, because there were seemingly attempts to intimidate him, previously, and he was, quite scared to even go to court. And his brother actually says to me, I asked him if he wouldn't consider the option of going to the police to apply for witness protection or just simply not go to court. And he said, well, you know, he did not come back with going for witness protection, but also said, if I don't go to court, there will be a warrant of arrest issued against me and I could be arrested. So yesterday, he wakes up in the morning, goes to court with the victim's mother and is shot and killed.
It is so tragic, Linda, because this sounds like a person who wanted to do the right thing, and ultimately he did the right thing, because at the same time, he's confused about if it does turn up in court, if it doesn't turn up in court, he may possibly be arrested because he may be seen as defying law enforcement or defeating the ends of justice, whatever terminology is used. And it brings us to the question, so we know now that he wasn't under witness protection, although he feared for his life. But it does bring about a question of safety around our courts, and that would be the domain of the Ministry of Justice. Yeah. Have they said anything about what happened yesterday?
Indeed, they've issued a statement, you know, condemning what has happened, also stressing the need to reinforce safety in courts. But basically, they view this as an attempt to destabilize the justice system, but also one that will discourage victims from coming forward. Particularly when you look at the case of Ashwin, he had quite a number of things to consider. You know, do I go to court? Yeah. Do I do witness protection? But also the need then from the law enforcement to do security checks and to determine whether witnesses in murder cases or in high-risk cases are protected. So they've condemned this particular incident.
What a tragic story. Linda Mnisi, thank you very much for that particular update.